Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. I'm going to do our March 28th, just for today, in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. The title of the meditation, Facing Feelings. We may fear that being in touch with our feelings will trigger an overwhelming chain reaction of pain and panic. That comes from the basic text, page 30. While we were using, many of us were unable or unwilling to feel many emotions. If we were happy, we used to make us happier. If we were angry or depressed, we used to mask those feelings. In continuing this pattern throughout our active addiction, we became so emotionally confused that we weren't sure what normal feelings were anymore. After being in recovery for some time, we find that the emotions we had suppressed suddenly begin to surface. We may find that we do not know how to identify our feelings. What we may be feeling as rage may only be frustration. What we perceive as suicidal depression may simply be sadness. These are the times when we need to seek the assistance of our sponsor or other members of NA. Going to a meeting and talking about what is happening rather in our lives can help us to face our feelings instead of running from them in fear. Just for today, I will not run from the uncomfortable emotions I may experience. I will use the support of my friends in recovery to help me face my emotions. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. That is a marvelous meditation talking about facing our fears. And I think it's really interesting. We used to say, maybe you've heard it. Fear stands for face everything and recover, or face everything and run. We're very used to running. We use drugs to help us run, not physically, but mentally run from whatever it was we were feeling, or to further increase our joy. I think I personally can relate. And I think if you're in Narcotics Anonymous, you probably can. There are a lot of things that we wanted to avoid, and we used drugs to do it. I think we would have used anything to do it. So what happens, having said that, if drugs were not available and I would use anything to run from my feelings, what are some of the things that I could run to if it wasn't drugs, right? It could be gambling. It could be a nicotine addiction. It could be a cannabis addiction. It could be, those are drugs, right? What else could it be? It could be caffeine. It could be sex. I was trying to take my time to get to that one. So many things we could turn to. And most often, those behaviors, I consider them detrimental long term, right, to us. And so today we don't want to run to anything. We want to run to recovery. We know things are going to happen. We understand that. It's like every day is a gamble. Every day is Russian roulette. Every day is, right? What? Fill in the blank because we don't know the future. And some people are fearful. Listen to me, fearful of what? The unknown. Yes. And so not knowing the future can trigger a lot of things for us because who wants to be a failure? Who wants to look bad? Who wants to start a project and find out they can't finish it? Who wants to be a quitter? No one. Absolutely no one. So when things come up, life happens on its own terms. I need a solution. I need a solution that I can take or apply to the situation and be relatively comfortable. Not all knowing, though, right? But relatively comfortable that the outcome is going to be more positive, at least, than it would have been with me using drugs. Absolutely. Because I'm making decisions with a clear mind today. Right. And so I want for you to consider facing your feelings today. What is it? Everyone has something that they refuse to give voice to. And I just say that because I think it's natural to want to look good in front of other people, not to sound bad, not to word vomit. I think most people have something that they know they're actually not facing. What purpose does the serenity prayer have? God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change and the courage, what? To change the things that I can. So that courage to face the things that I can, right? To change them, right? The courage. I need that. I need the courage to face it. I need the courage to change it. Courage is not something that we innately have. I think it's developed. It's like saying I was born brave. No, most people can't say they were just born courageous, right? I think that's a spiritual principle that we develop. Courage to change the things that I can. A lot of people are, come see, come saw, no big deal. Whatever, whatever. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And a lot of times that's just evidence that they have fear. They have fear of the unknown, and they rather not push a button that would actuate something that they may not be able to handle. Fear of the unknown could be, why would I call the university and make an appointment with an academic advisor? Why would I do that if I really don't know I would be able to take courses and pass? That's a question. I mean, that we need to answer. Maybe that's not your question that you need to answer, but I'm sure if you take time today to think about what it is you're not facing, and congratulations on the stuff you are. Okay, let me get that in. I always want to talk about positive things, but I think it's futile to wake up every day and not be willing to face the issues in my life. I don't use drugs anymore. So, I mean, I drink coffee, but I'm not getting high off of that, right? So, I don't use drugs anymore. to mask anything. And the very fact that I don't catapults me into another realm that is my reality today of not knowing the future and not being able to control it and needing to accept it and or have courage to change my present moment if I can and it suits me. It's God's will for me, right? I don't have a choice. I don't feel like I have a choice to sit on my laurels and just let negative things overwhelm my family. I don't. I feel I need to get out here and try to bring income into the home so that the things that my boys need can be provided. That's my story. What's yours? What is it that you're not facing? Like I said, congratulations on the things you are. But what is it you're not facing? And why aren't you facing it? It could just be no reason, just fear of the unknown, not sure how it'll turn out. Well, you know what? I think that however it turns out, right? However it turns out, I truly believe that you have what it takes to face whatever those results are. I believe that not using drugs is so major. I think it is huge. And I think any person that has the ability to stop using drugs, personally, I think they can change the world. I think that if we can stop using drugs, there's really nothing else that's too big. You understand the disease of addiction? How powerful the disease of addiction is? It's present even after you get rid of the symptoms. It's present. There are some diseases that you cannot fully recover from once you've had it. You always have it. It's just dormant. That's why we talk about arresting our disease of addiction. We force it into dormancy by not using and recovering. And I personally believe if you can stop using drugs, that you can face anything. And whatever the unknown is, you have the tools already at your disposal to use to handle it. Today, what I wish for you out there is that you have more faith than you have fear. And if you have a lot of fear, I think that that is quite normal for us as human beings and exaggerated and oftentimes for us recovering people, right? I believe that you can face it. And the only way you're going to know is if you step out there. You gotta step out. Give it a go. Go ahead. Give it a go. We'll be right here, right? Like pushing a bird from the nest. Yeah. Get out there and test those wings and come back and tell us how you did. Tell us how it turned out. Tell us how it was successful and you enjoyed the fruit of that. Tell us how it failed and you didn't use behind it. Come back and tell us. We're rooting for you. to break free from those self-made prisons. And the bars are fear. You can do it. Have a beautiful day on purpose. My name is Mighty Stream. I'm going to have a beautiful day on purpose. Talk to you tomorrow.